High school soccer on Ticket TV is presented by Mainly Supplements, Greenway Equipment Sales, and Quirk Auto Group. High school sports on Ticket TV is also brought to you by First National Bank, Coastal Auto Parts, Northeast Driving School, The Neighborhood Early Childhood Center, Twin City Tire and Service, Down East Toyota, Midcoast Denture Design, Dean's Detailing, and by Mainly Eyes. The Bush Group from Next Home, Bombshell Beauty, Currahee Trailers, and by Hermon Motor Company. Now let's get you out to the action on Ticket TV.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Pottle Field in Hermon, Maine for tonight's contest between the Hermon Hawks and the Ellsworth Eagles on Ticket TV. High school sports on Ticket TV presented by Mainly Supplements. They're the presenting sponsor of high school sports here at 929theticket.com, located near the Bangor Mall. Mainly Supplements is a fully stocked nutritional supplement store. Their dedicated team members look forward to working with you and helping you reach your health and fitness goals. Mainly Supplements, 109 Bangor Mall Boulevard, Bangor, right next to Hannaford, and at mainlysupplements.com. Mark Paulette and Jim Churchill here with you tonight for the call of this contest, Jim, between the Hermon Hawks and the Ellsworth Eagles. And these are two teams, really, when you're looking at their schedules, at opposite ends of the spectrum, I should say. The Ellsworth Eagles have played all 9 games on their schedule this year. The Hermon Hawks have only played 4 and have had 3 wiped out.
Yes, indeed. Ellsworth 5-3-1 coming in. Hermon yet to find the win column. But the second part of the season sets up very differently. Hermon obviously is going to have to play a lot of games in a short amount of time, 10 games in 15 days to be exact. And for Ellsworth, they just want to keep it going the way it's been going so far.
Yeah, and let's take a look at those two schedules right now, starting off with the Ellsworth Eagles, who have played 9 games like we're talking about. They entered tonight's action with a record of 5-3-1. You see some of those results right there. The last 3 all wins. They actually entered tonight with a 4-game win streak coming against Hermon on September 27th, a win against MDI on the 28th, and then back-to-back wins at home versus Caribou and on the road versus Caribou. So the Eagles rounding into form here late in the year.
Yeah, and I think, again, for Hermon, if you're looking at them, it's difficult for them to kind of find their groove when their schedule has been so sporadic, and I think we'll find more out about them as we head down the stretch here.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the Hawks' schedule. 0-4 so far on the season. They began playing their first 2 games, so I guess that was the bright spot, a 2-1 loss versus Foxcroft, a 5-1 loss at John Babs, and then like we talked about, and as is the case with so many schools during this fall season, COVID took its toll.
Yes, indeed, and again, I think tonight is a big spot for Hermon and for Ellsworth. Ellsworth, obviously, as I mentioned, want to keep things going as they've been going, and for Hermon, a chance to kind of put their foot in the ground and set a new trend here heading down the home stretch.
The Hawks, 10 games coming up in the next 15 days to close out the regular season, and we are just moments away from the kickoff of tonight's contest between Ellsworth and Hermon here at Pottle Field. We'll take a break in our pregame coverage, come back, get you the starting 11s for both sides, as well as taking a look at what's coming up next for these schools. That's all coming up right now on Ticket TV. Welcome back to Pottle Field here at Hermon High School, just about 60 seconds away from the kickoff of tonight's contest on Ticket TV. We're presented in part by Quirk Auto Group. Visit a Quirk Auto Group dealership in Bangor, Belfast, Augusta, or Portland, and at quirkauto.com. All right, let's take a look at the two teams squaring off in tonight's contest, Jim. For the Ellsworth Eagles, a pretty good mixture between the grade levels. They're running a 4-3-3 tonight, and it all starts with Hunter Curtis in goal. Definitely a familiar name for us covering local sports in this region.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Saw Hunter on the basketball court. I remember him performing well over the course of that regional schedule that we had recently in basketball, of course, over the last winter of action. And again, got to the final against Brewer in the local region. So, yes, a very familiar athlete, tremendous athlete, and hard to believe he's a senior this year.
Yeah, and then for the Hermon Hawks, I was talking with their head coach before the game, and it's a little precarious at the back. They're starting a freshman and a sophomore in defense due to a couple injuries. Brady Therial, one of the injured Hawks, Kyle Martin, also out in tonight's contest. But other than that, you look at this roster, a lot of juniors, a lot of seniors. So the upperclassmen trying to rebound from this 0-4 start to the year.
Yeah, a lot of juniors, just a couple of seniors on the roster, but a junior-laden roster to be sure for Coach Sean Good and Paul Locke, the head coach for the Ellsworth Eagles. So we'll see if the trends continue as they've gone so far. And again, you got a feel for both Hermon soccer and Hermon football. Hermon football losing 3 games as well, and I'm sure for the Hawks, they just want to kind of get into a groove and see what they can show with some consistency in their schedule.
Yeah, that's a little something that they were talking about pregame, just eager to be able to get on the field here and play a string of successive contests. We are brought to you in part here on the Ticket and Ticket TV by Greenway Equipment Sales. Nothing runs like a deer in Bangor and Ellsworth, and at greenwayequipment.com. Let's take one more quick break here in the pregame action. Come back for the kickoff on Ticket TV. Welcome back here to Pottle Field. The teams getting introduced ahead of tonight's contest between the Hermon Hawks and the Ellsworth Eagles. For Hermon, lining up for tonight's contest in the starting 11, you got Noah Dupuis, a freshman midfielder, Jacob Garrich, a sophomore midfielder, Ryan Shorey, a junior forward, Alex Rios, a midfielder, he is a junior as well, Michael Sneyer, a midfielder, also a junior, Ethan Davis, a senior defender, Gavin Coombs, a junior forward, and we will get the rest of the starting lineups right after tonight's national anthem. Left off with Gavin Coombs for the Hermon Hawks, Colby Euler, Ryan Austin, Cooper Jensen, and Xavier Jelks in goal rounds out their starting 11. And for the visitors from Ellsworth, Tanner Sura, Darren Easler, Billy Garland, Luke Perry, Cal Lasley, Silas Montigny, Miles Palmer, Owen Frank, Eamon McDonald, that's a great soccer name if I do say so, Cruz Coffin, and Hunter Curtis, the starting 11. High school sports on Ticket TV, presented in part by First National Bank. Dream first, because you can. You see the Ellsworth Eagles taking the pitch ahead of tonight's kickoff. Hermon going through some final preparations. Sean Good mixing up some things in their starting lineup tonight. He's bringing in a couple of wide players to play in the midfield, as we talked about, without 2 of their key defenders. Brady Theriault and Kyle Martin both out in tonight's contest. Brady Theriault actually suffered a broken nose and cheekbone in their first game of the year, and he was their leader in the back line. So a rough opening there for the Hermon Hawks, playing just their 5th game once again tonight. Winless through their first 4 tries, 3 games knocked off the schedule due to COVID.
And I think, Mark, if you're looking for some keys to the game tonight, keys to the game brought to you by the Bush Group. For Hermon, they want to try to pick it up offensively, get some activity in front of the net. And for Ellsworth, they've been very solid defensively, and certainly that's been a key to their success. They want to keep that rolling.
No doubt about that. Ellsworth riding a 4-game win streak into tonight's game. 3.8 goals per contest over that span, just 1 goal allowed. And like you were talking about with Hermon, averaging less than a goal per game coming in to tonight's contest. Keys to the game brought to you by Tim Bush and the Bush Group, real estate agents with next home experience. The Bush Group is ready to help you with all of your real estate needs, whatever it is, buying or selling or investing. The Bush Group is here to make your real estate goals happen. We are underway from Pottle Field. Ellsworth with possession, and they are on the attack from the start, chasing it down to the far end of the pitch. Hermon able to clear it away after a strong attack by the Eagles off the opening kick.
Yeah, we've always seen a Hermon player slip down on the grass with the sun dropping and temperature dropping with it. You see a little slickness out there on the turf tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. As someone who was up for the entire night last night,
it's good.
First-hand look at just how much dew and everything is out there with the temperatures dropping. So this field a little slick when I was down there pregame walking around.
First shot towards the goal there by Ellsworth. Well above the crossbar, but through the uprights. Could have used that last night for the Patriots on that last kick.
Yeah, I gotta cut Nick Folks some credit though. From 56 yards out,
Wet field.
That's a rough way to break the franchise record streak for consecutive makes. A couple of bodies coming together right there. That was Tanner Sura for the Eagles and Colby Euler for Hermon, and it's Euler winning the free kick. Throw in, pardon me. Euler brings it into play, and that one's knocked out. Getting right back into the action with Sura for Ellsworth, so another throw coming up for Hermon.
And for the second time, Colby ends up on the turf for the Hawks.
Nearly a perfect assist off the throw-in right there for Euler, but coming out of his net was Hunter Curtis to make sure he took care of that.
Not sure that's Hunter Curtis in net.
I was just about to ask you that. Based off of what I recall of him on the basketball court, it looks like a slightly different build in net for the Eagles.
I think that might be Craig Burnett in goal.
Number 28 for Ellsworth, so guess I got some bad information from the sideline. They didn't want to give away all their game plan for tonight. Teams battling for possession right around the midfield. Now it's Ellsworth on the attack once again. Sean Good, the Hermon head coach, was telling me before the start of tonight's contest that Ellsworth really likes to get out and run. They're looking for the through balls, looking to find a way on net. And this is a team that, as we mentioned, comes into tonight's contest averaging nearly 4 goals per game over their last 4 during the win streak.
Good battle there between Colby Euler and Luke Perry. Ellsworth with the throw-in.
Hermon briefly won away possession, but they're unable to keep that ball in play. Ellsworth will have a throw. Brought into Cruz Coffin, but Hawks up to the test, able to clear it down the pitch. And nicely done on the ball. that time was Michael Snyder trying to set up a counter for Hermon. Winning the ball away, spinning, but couldn't find a teammate in the end. A lot of activity on this near side of the pitch here to begin the game. Ellsworth trying to stretch the field a bit. A Hawk and an Eagle giving chase, but that one trickles out in the far corner right underneath the scoreboard here at Pottle Field.
Well, the fall weather has set in. Unfortunate that the lights are almost taking full effect here just shortly after 6 p.m.
Sun has gone down, and so too have the temperatures. It was a little steamy when I got here this afternoon. Nice out during the day, but I don't know, it's starting to get a bit of a nip in the air.
Beautiful day in eastern and central Maine in the upper 60s with the sunshine. Looks like a fairly dry week as I look ahead to the weather forecast, which is good because we have a lot of games coming up this week.
Ellsworth once again trying to prod their way through this defense for Hermon, which is standing up to the test in the early going. We mentioned that a couple of younger players starting in the back due to injuries for the Hawks.
Yeah, Hermon allowing 3.5 goals per game. Looking pretty solid here in the early going on the defensive end.
Snyder sends that one out wide. The Hawks trying to play it back into the midfield. A nice attempt at a through ball right there, but no one was home. Winning possession back and keeping it in play for Hermon is Ryan Shorey. Nicely done. Snyder weaving his way through the Eagles' defense. Hermon with a throw taken quickly, and that caught Snyder by surprise. Wasn't expecting to get the ball just that quickly, and I'm not sure whether it was their throw to begin with or if it was ruled that it was taken too quickly.
Yeah, I think it might have been taken too quickly there. Hawks trying to get any advantage they can.
Tanner Sura brings it in play for Ellsworth. Alex Rios getting a touch for Hermon. Given chase was Cooper Jensen for the Hawks, and once again a battle for possession playing on the football field here at Hermon High School. A lot of the game so far has been played between the 40-yard lines or so.
Yeah, Ellsworth has had just one shot towards the net, went high above the crossbar. Hermon still looking for their first of the night.
Ellsworth sends it deep, played down by Alex Rios in the midfield. Ball is knocked forward and nicely done by a Hawk defender. That is Noah Dupuy, a freshman. He is one of those freshmen that are put to the test tonight. Oh, you have sophomore, I have freshman, so
oh, wow.
Conflicting rosters here.
Well, we've got the AD here. We'll get confirmation on that. Oh.
A perfect through ball here for Hermon. They are on the attack. Snyder passes in front for Gavin Coombs, who puts it just wide of the net. But if you're Sean Good in the Hermon sideline, you have to feel pretty good about that counter right there. The Hawks showing life in the attacking end.
Yeah, and I got some life in the Hawk fandom on the near side as well. Ended up with a 2-on-1 and just pulled to the left side of the net. But a great opportunity there for Hermon as they look for some momentum here in this first half.
I think that's exactly how they want to play this game if possible. Kind of park the bus at the back, make sure Ellsworth doesn't beat you in their attacking game, and then spring on the counter whenever you can. Here is Ellsworth. Ball was briefly nicely won by Cooper Jensen before it was knocked out of play, but Hermon will get the throw. It comes in, played down by Ellsworth, though he was out of play on the far side of the field, according to the ref. It'll be another Hermon throw, as that one was taken pretty quickly as well. The Hawks, they don't let that ball sit on the sideline for long. They look to get it back into play.
Three-person officiating crew here tonight. Haven't seen that much this season.
Here's a chance for Hermon. Spilled in the box. The Eagles are able to kick it behind for a corner. That was a golden opportunity. Was that Colby Euler down there for Hermon, number 17? We've called his name a lot in the early part of this contest, and got a perfect opportunity. Looked like he waited just a split second too long, allowed an Eagle defender to crash in there and clear it. The corner swung in here by Hermon. Headed effort on net is scooped up by Craig Burnett.
I believe that was Gavin Coombs flying in there, trying to head that one in.
Hermon feeding off the momentum right now. Feisty trying to win possession back, but springing free is Luke Perry in the midfield for Ellsworth. Kyle Lassley with the header. Knocked ahead and out of play for a Hermon throw.
Yeah, so far so good for Hermon, except when it comes to actually putting one in net, but they've had the better of the opportunity. Certainly two great chances to score here in this first half.
Ellsworth launches a throw down towards the far corner. It's played down by an attacking member of the Eagles. He will look to cross the ball in onto the right foot. Shot goes wide. See just how quickly Ellsworth can find themselves in scoring position, but that one off the mark for the Eagles.
Xavier Jelks in goal for the Hawks. Saw that one sail to his right.
Actually, I stand corrected. That must have taken a deflection along the way as the Eagles are lining up here for a corner. Ellsworth with their first corner of the game. It swung in and right into the hands of Xavier Jelks. A little leap to grab it out of the air. He will try to quickly spring the attack. Hermon coming the other way. Played through beautifully there. Ryan Shorey gets stood up for a second in midfield and loses out possession. Now it's Ellsworth playing the long ball, but Jelks once again coming up to grab. Jelks sends it into the air, right around midfield as the Eagles play a little give and go.
40 yards on that punt.
Both teams just feeling each other out a little bit, seeing what's working here, and possibly another chance for Hermon on the attack. It's knocked ahead, giving chase. That is Euler. Euler trying to spin back, wait for some teammates to come help him out. Into the corner, he finds his way along the end line. There's a challenge in the box. Euler goes down, and a penalty has been awarded.
And
Jay
Baines, one of the officials, explaining the call.
Jay Baines, the one who awarded it. Ellsworth was not too pleased with that call, but you saw Euler spinning past the defender, running kind of parallel to the goal face, and then an Eagle went to ground. Clearly did not get most of the ball on that challenge, and it sets up an early, crucial opportunity here for Hermon to take the lead.
Craig Burnett doing some flexing and stretching in goal.
Looks like Michael Snyer placing the ball down, ready to take this PK. Snyder calmly standing over the ball, waiting for the whistle. His run up, his attempt, and a nice save by Ellsworth. Burnett going down to his left to keep that ball out of the back of the net.
Yeah, Snyder choosing to keep it low there, but a great read by Burnett. Relatively easy save on that penalty kick. Easy for me to say.
Well, Hermon certainly energized right now. They're trying to keep this momentum alive as Snyder looks for a passing lane. He'll bring it back into the midfield. Rios plays it forward, but the Eagles there to kick it down the field.
Yeah, counting that penalty kick there, Mark. Hermon has had 3 close-range shots on goal here, but we're still scoreless. About 15 minutes into this one.
Jokes rising up above the players to corral that ball in the box. Out of play for an Ellsworth throw. Do we have some information on who exactly is in net for the Eagles?
We have clarification. It is Miles Palmer in net for Ellsworth.
Miles, a sophomore for the Eagles, making that nice save. Out of his box here is Jokes, looking a little panicked. It's played through by Ellsworth, and a beautiful clearance with the goal gaping. Hawks able to clear it off the goal line, and was that Ryan Austin? Number 21, a senior in defense for Hermon.
Here's another look at it.
You see Ryan wearing the armband coming in there and booting it away.
Great job by the senior, Ryan Austin. Keep this a scoreless game.
Both sides with some good chances here in the opening 15 minutes or so of the contest, scoreless through about 16 minutes here at Pottle Field.
Eagles picking it up.
Yeah, it seems like a sense of urgency right now from Ellsworth after a good run of play from Hermon. Time to show what they have as well. Through ball here, a whistle. And offsides is the call. Some more information on the precarious Ellsworth goalkeeping situation.
Yeah, evidently Hunter Curtis dislocated his shoulder in warm-ups, or he would have been in goal. And Craig Burnett is currently in quarantine, so Miles Palmer thrust into that duty here tonight, and so far he's done pretty well.
And Palmer, who was originally in the starting 11 as an outfield player, chance here for Ellsworth is scooped up by Jokes, but yeah, Paul Locke, when I went down pregame, had him check off the starting 11 for me. Miles Palmer was in there. Not in net, though, so had to make the quick change and wonder if he has any experience playing goalie for the Ellsworth Eagles.
Guessing he's got some goalie experience somewhere, because he's looked pretty good in goal. Well, for a scoreless game, there's been plenty of action here in this first half.
Gavin Coombs winning possession for the Hawks. Takes a deflection. The ball will stay with them for a throw.
Ellsworth, 4-time state champion, 18-time regional champion.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it? 18 trips to the state game for the Eagles, coming in both Class A and Class B throughout their history.
The 80s, a high point for this program. Played in 6 straight state championship games from 84 to 89.
An Ellsworth throw from the far side of the field. Brought back into play. Tough to pick out the players over there, kind of in the shadows here at Pottle Field. Winning the battle that time for Hermon was Carter Bricado, one of the swing players from the JV squad as well. Hermon JV's coming away with a 3-1 victory before this contest earlier tonight. A spirited attempt to keep that ball in play by the Hawks, but it'll trickle out, and let's see here. Ellsworth will have their second corner of the game. Taken nicely by the Hawks. A header goes just wide. Didn't give Jokes too much issues there. Too many.
Of course, we were here at Pottle Field just a few evenings ago for some high school football. Madomic Valley with a win over the Hermon Hawks.
Bricado passes it near side to Snier.
Very competitive football game on Friday night. Looks like we're going to have a very competitive soccer game here on Monday evening.
Snier shouldering off an Ellsworth Eagle, keeping the ball at his feet. Now he tries to play it down the far side of the pitch. There's a Hawk giving chase, but that one is out of his reach. It'll go out for a goal kick for the Eagles.
There he is, number 96, Miles Palmer. Thrust into action here tonight.
High school sports on Ticket TV, presented in part by Mainly Eyes. Save big with great glasses deals for your kids this back-to-school season. Mainly Eyes. You'll see the difference inside Bangor Mall and at mainlyeyes.com.
We're halfway through this first half.
Headed forward by the Eagles. Bit of a trip, but fair play there in the midfield, and it's Hermon coming away with possession. Pass just out of the reach that time of Michael Snier. And a collision, a nasty-looking one, right around the 35-yard line between Alex Rios.
And Frank for the Eagles went down.
Taking the brunt of that collision was Frank. Sent deep by Darren Easler. Once again, Jokes is out of his net. A little bit of panic back there, but coolly he's able to grab it.
He would call it aggressiveness, Mark. No panic for Xavier.
Knocked ahead by Tanner Sura. The ball will make its way out near the Hermon Hawks lettering in the fencing around Pottle Field. Hermon trying to clear from their defensive end, and a good chance here. Step over was not there. Won away strongly by Sura. Tries to cross it to the midfield, and you see some of that slick field as going to ground was an Ellsworth attacker. Silas Montigny looked like he was in pretty good position, but just lost his footing. Eagles end up with a shot on net, but once again into the waiting arms of Jokes. High school sports on Ticket TV, presented by Twin City Tire. Visit Twin City Tire at 609 Wilson Street in Brewer, or Twin City Tire ME for all your snow tire and car care needs. Hermon with a chance off the left foot. Blocked down by an Eagle defender.
And Ryan Shorey with the attempt there.
Found himself in space in the box. Played forward, Shorey gets a touch, and then trying to knock it down, control possession was Michael Snier. The ball takes a deflection, and that will go out for a second Hawks corner.
And the Hermon fans like the pressure that's being applied by the Hawks here in this first half. They get another round of applause.
So the corners, even at 2 aside, both teams applying solid pressure here in the first half. That one is played into the center of the box, bounces over the outstretched arms of Palmer.
Great corner
Played out
kick
briefly, back in, and Palmer has to go up to secure that.
Shot from long range by Jacob Garich.
Yeah, nice attempt, curling right into the center of the net. Palmer was up to the test. Jokes out of net. Didn't seem to get all of that one as he would have wanted. So the Eagles in attack once again, stepping through. It's Cooper Jensen to briefly break up play, and then a strong attempt here by Ellsworth goes off the side netting. Some cheers from the far side of the pitch. I don't know if there was an optical illusion there. They saw the net jiggle and they thought they might have had themselves a strike to take the lead.
Well, even from this angle, the way it hit the net, looking through the windows here in the press box, got your attention. Clearly, by the body language on both teams, could tell there was no goal there.
Yeah, I think Ellsworth would have let us know if one of their players hit one like that went in.
Jokes coming way outside the box, sliding down. He's having fun here tonight.
Nice turn on the far side of the field by Leo Ferraghetti. First time we've called his name. Gavin Coombs sending it in deep, and once again Palmer having to come out to play it off the bounce. Palmer knocks it forward, and Eagle slips to the ground, but it's Ellsworth able to keep possession for the time being. Ball rolled to the midfield. Carter Mercado was there to clear it. Fighting for possession, and well, giving up the foul was Ryan Shorey for Hermon. He did not want to let that go. Ellsworth plays it in. Rada Jokes once again, who is there for the two-handed catch. Jokes plays it forward to Mercado. Can't control. Luke Perry with the ball for Ellsworth, and it is won away strongly by Hermon. Alex Rios trying to spring an attack, but it just trickles out before Colby Euler could get there for Hermon.
And good physical play there by Alex Rios Mallet, a junior for Hermon.
Changes for both teams coming onto the pitch right now. 1 new Eagle, 2 new Hawks coming into this contest, which is about 27 minutes old at this time. 13 minutes and counting remaining in the first half.
Number 19 for Ellsworth is Chase Hardwick, a junior. Just checking into this match.
Snyder running in circles, sends it back to his keeper, Jokes. Jokes' is pass, an errant one. Ellsworth trying to take advantage. Laid off, but no teammates there. Jokes this time goes with the throw. Down to about the 40-yard line here at Pottle Field. Hermon looking to counter. The ball skipping through several players before it's finally cleared away. Looked like Owen Frank in defense for Ellsworth. Played back to Jokes by Ryan Austin. Jelks brings it back to Bricado. Hermon trying to work it out from the back. A slip once again. That end of the field seems to be a little slippery, a little tricky right now for both teams.
Yeah, some heavy dew out there. We've seen a number of players sliding down.
Tanner Sura knocking it back to midfield as the Eagles try to jump on the attack. A nice pass inside, dribbled around the defender, poked ahead, and Jelks goes to the ground for a kick save.
And a beauty. Wow. Close range shot there by Ellsworth. And
Can we see that one again? No, we cannot.
we can't. All right. Still scoreless, just over 10 minutes left to go here in this first half.
Hermon has to be feeling pretty good about themselves so far, coming in without a win on the season. Ellsworth riding a 4-game win streak. Ellsworth actually victorious over Hermon. That was the last game that the Hawks played back on September 27th. A 4-1 win for Ellsworth. A chance here, and I don't know, that one might have been good as well through the uprights. Over the net, though, all that matters in this contest.
Yeah, Hermon had games scheduled for September 9th, 11th, and 21st canceled. They got back on the pitch on September 24th after a 17-day layoff. 3-0 loss to MDI, and then the 4-1 loss to Ellsworth on the 27th.
And then we're unable to play their last scheduled match as well, though, to no fault of their own. Some sirens blaring by in the background as Jelks sends it into the lights. Weaving in and out of traffic for Hermon was Gavin Coombs. Euler giving chase on this near side. Euler is able to spin out of there with it, and there's a whistle.
Now, Euler wins a lot of those races to the ball. He's got those long strides.
And he has won himself. Looks to be a free kick. Or just possession continuing with Hermon. Euler delivers the throw. It's down in the box.
Ooh.
Converging. A couple of attackers for the Hawks, but none of them can get a touch to it before Ellsworth can clear.
I think it's a little dicey there for the Eagles briefly, but they recovered.
That ball, I don't think stayed in play as it was cleared away to the near side of the pitch. It did not. It'll result in a third corner for the Hawks. They have the edge in corners, 3-2. Play this one out before bringing it back into the box. Headed on net. That one was close. Who played that on? Was that...
There we go. We'll take another look here on our Greenway replay.
Tough to tell still. Seen a double number, I think. Not that that narrows it all that much, but Palmer was, in the end, had it covered as the ball landed on top of the net. He had to leap just to make sure.
Well, Miles Palmer came to the pitch for this match against Hermon tonight. He's planning on playing, not necessarily in goal, but he's performed quite well.
And you'll notice on any sort of goal kicks, the Eagles put another player back there because while Palmer has shown to be very strong in net, maybe that's not his strength as you would expect from a goalie. Laid off by Hermon, now played forward, and it will deflect its way to Bricado down in front of us. Sura's pass found Montigny. Montigny loses out possession. Back and forth we go in the midfield. Trying to wall off his defenders, Ryan Shorey.
Play there by Cruz Coffin. Like that name.
Coffin sends it forward, but right there yet again is Jelks.
Spelled C-R-U-Z.
Like Nelson.
Indeed. Unlike Tom.
Also correct. Hermon finding some space briefly here in the midfield. Hawks on attack. It was Euler waiting to make sure he's not on sides. The flag stays down. His attempt is knocked down by Palmer, and then he leaps onto the loose ball. Chance for a rebound, but there was no Hermon attacker in the area.
Yeah, you see Colby Euler here looking to use the right foot. Had to get square to the goaltender. Again, going low, and Palmer right there to pick up another save.
Bouncing ball, just trying to get his body in front of that. It's almost like a screamer down the third baseline where third baseman just tries to use his body to knock it down, then take care of business afterwards. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Scoreless to this point between the Hawks and the Eagles.
Not your typical 0-0 game, though. Or 0-0, I should say.
A lot of action through the first 35 minutes as Hermon plays the ball forward. Sura can't keep it in play for Ellsworth. It'll be a Hermon throw. And it looked like Gavin Coombs is going to have some space to run into, but a nice job there by the Eagles defender to come up and clear the ball down the pitch. Falling, tripping over his own feet, Jacob Garich. No harm for the time being as Ellsworth looks to attack yet again. That through ball picked out by the Hermon defense. Pinged back and forth by both teams before being played out by Ethan Davis. An attempt from range that time for the Eagles. Going to ground to secure it was Jelks. Jelks has been busy in this first half, as has Palmer at the other end for Ellsworth. Hermon with the throw. Sura brings it in. Across into the middle of the box.
Oh.
Dangerous there. A strong shoulder from Alex Rios. There's an Ellsworth player who is down on the pitch. Took a shot. It was kind of in the air to begin with. Here's the replay of it. See the ball headed back into a dangerous area.
Montigny going for it.
Montigny going for it, and Rios saying, I'm just going to stand right here, not move, and you're going to have to figure out what to do. In Ellsworth corner, throw, excuse me. And once again, it's Rios standing strong in defense for the Hawks. Owen Frank sends it back into play. Frank with a little give and go finds himself in the middle of four Hermon defenders. He is able to maintain possession for the time being. More bodies go to ground, and eventually it's Frank conceding a free kick to Hermon.
Yeah, Owen got tied up with Jacob Garich.
Not only has this been an action-packed first half, it's been a pretty physical one as well.
Goddard took the brunt of the punishment there on that particular play, but
High school sports on Ticket TV, presented in part by Coastal Auto Parts, owners of your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores.
Also there by Gavin Coombs, keeping that one alive. Put it well down the field, but Ellsworth sending it back in the opposite direction.
Jokes trying to take some air out of the ball before he kicks it down the field on the other side of midfield. It's the Eagles trying to stand tall in defense, and might have been an inadvertent handball there.
I think that might be the case.
Inside of the final 90 seconds of this first half. Make sure to stick around for our halftime show. We'll bring you some of the highlights from the first half. Played down calmly by Michael Sneyer. Hermon once again passing it back before moving forward. Once again, bodies collide, but it's Gavin Coombs maintaining possession. Now he goes to the ground, kind of scorpion kicks it to himself. He keeps the attack going. A shot here. A bullet. Dangerous looking one from Ryan Shorey. Fizzes over the net.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, definitely went left, I think, of the net, but that was a rocket.
Would have been one of the greatest lead-ups to an assist, whether intentional or unintentional.
There's been a lot of action in this first half. It's been a very physical first half as well.
Michael Sneyer knocking the ball out of play, gives it a little kick forward for good measure. Clock stops here with just under 6 seconds remaining in the first half. Brought back in, clock winds. 2, 1. And that will take us to the half. Scoreless at the break between Hermon and Ellsworth. An action-packed first half. We will be back to recap it all in our halftime show coming up next on Ticket TV. Welcome back to Pottle Field here at Hermon High School. Scoreless at the break between Hermon and Ellsworth, though it was an action-packed first half. We'll get to some of the highlights here in just a second. High school sports on Ticket TV is presented by Mainly Supplements. They are the presenter of the halftime show. Located near the Bangor Mall, Mainly Supplements is a fully stocked nutritional supplement store. Their dedicated team members look forward to working with you and helping you reach your health and fitness goals. Mainly Supplements, located at 109 Bangor Mall Boulevard, right next to Hannaford, and at mainlysupplements.com. All right, let's take a look at the action here in the first half. Scoreless, but not without plenty of excitement. We begin here with a chance for Hermon. You see the ball centered, and then just sending it wide was Gavin Coombs. That may have been one of the better chances for both sides.
Again, just a reminder, Miles Palmer forced into action and goal. One player, Hunter Curtis, injured his shoulder prior to the game.
You see a gaping goal there, and coming through for Hermon, we believe Ryan Austin to clear it away.
Yeah, number 21 coming to the rescue there for the Hawks.
Here's Colby Euler, had a very busy first half. We called his name quite a few times, setting the ball, trying to curl it around the keeper, but
Palmer up to the task again.
Yeah, couldn't find the angle. And then you see some of the physicality that was on display in this first half. Bodies colliding there in the box. Was that Montigny going airborne off the shoulder from the Hawk defender? And then one final chance here for Hermon in the first half. Played down nicely onto the right foot. A rocket going just wide by Ryan Shorey. We should also note that Hermon had a penalty early in the game, and Palmer was up to the challenge, saving Snyer's effort as he went down to his left to keep the game scoreless. High school sports on Ticket TV, presented by Down East Toyota, located at 652 Wilson Street in Brewer. All roads lead to Down East. We will take a quick timeout here, come back and take a look at some of the program histories for the schools up next. 29theticket.com and the Ticket app. Welcome back to Pottle Field, high school sports on Ticket TV, presented in part by Midcoast Denture Design, because everyone deserves an awesome smile. Visit MidcoastDentureDesignMaine.com. Scoreless at the break between Hermon and Ellsworth. Let's take a look at the standings in Class B North so far this season. As we were talking about before the game, these are two schools at opposite ends of the standings, but also in games played so far. Hermon entering tonight's contest 0-4 on the season, 3 cancellations along the way. Ellsworth has been able to play all 9 of their contests, actually 5-3-1 this season, so Ellsworth coming in 5th in Class B North, and then you see Hermon in search of their first win. For the Hawks, it's going to heat up here in short order, including tonight 10 games in the next 15 days to make up their schedule this fall season.
Well, if they can catch fire and find their groove, and certainly they're looking for some consistency in that schedule, get some games in, because when they've been unable to play, they've been unable to practice as well. So get a chance to get those games in, get a little momentum going. Certainly an outstanding first half. They were not able to tally a goal, but played very well in the first half against a very good Ellsworth team. So we'll see what the Hawks and Eagles have for us in half number 2.
And when we're taking a look at program history here, it's really two teams at the opposite end of the spectrum, and that's no slight to the Hermon Hawks. That is just the case when you're taking on a school with 18 regional championships to their credit, as is the case with Ellsworth.
Yeah, and certainly Ellsworth, their boys soccer program, could be called a soccer factory to some extent, because they've been obviously had a ton of success over the years, and when you have success like that, in many cases it begets more success.
Yeah, and it spanned multiple classes, 4-time state champions, those titles coming in 85, 88, 89 when they were co-champions with Yarmouth in 1993. They played in 6 straight state titles from 1984 to 1989, that 84 one coming in Class A, the rest in Class B. They've played in 5 state games this century, and the breakdown of the regional championships, 5 of them in Class A, 13 in Class B. Eagles have undergone some rougher years here over the last few that were played, 2019, 2018, 2017, all under 500. But man, did they start out the last decade on fire. 14-win season in 2011, a 13-win season in 2012, 2013, and 2014. 11 more wins coming in 2015. All told, 85, 32, and 9 over the last 9 seasons for the Hermon Hawks. 2-12-0 in their last season, not counting the exhibition season last year. That was 2019. But before that, a couple of better finishes for Hermon, building in the right direction. 6-5-3 in 2018, 8-5-1 in 2017, which was good for a 6th place finish in Class B North. Once again, Hermon looking for their first win or first draw of the season as well. So far, so good through a half tonight. Scoreless at the break between Hermon and Ellsworth. High school sports on Ticket TV. Brought to you in part by the Neighborhood Early Childhood Center in Bangor for kids ages 6 weeks to 5 years old. The Neighborhood is where children of all backgrounds and abilities can learn, explore, play, and socialize. We are also brought to you in part by Bombshell Beauty and Spa. They are Brewer's full-service hair salon and spa, conveniently located in the Hannaford Plaza. Come check out their new location, 3 doors down from their old location. Before we take a break here, Jim, let's take a look at some of the upcoming broadcasts we have on Ticket TV. It is going to be a hectic week. It's not just Hermon trying to make up broadcasts. That is the games, I should say. That is the case all over the state, and no different at the Ticket.
Yes, coming up tomorrow night from Doyle Field, it'll be senior night for the Brewer girls as they play host to the Mount Blue Cougars. And then on Wednesday, we did have an Old Town boys game scheduled there, but that game was lost due to some COVID protocol. So instead, we're going to have the Old Town girls taking the pitch. They'll be hosting Foxcroft again, a 6 p.m. start. And then on Thursday night, it is senior night for the Brewer boys as they host the Skowhegan Riverhawks. And then it's Skowhegan and Brewer again on Friday night on the Gridiron. And then Saturday will be at the refurbished Cameron Stadium, the new Cameron Stadium, for John Bapst hosting Foxcroft Academy.
All right, let's take one quick break before the second half kicks off. You're tuned in to Hermon and Ellsworth on Ticket TV. The second half is underway as we welcome you back to Pottle Field here in Hermon. You see a quick start already as Jelks going to ground for the Hawks to corral a scoring opportunity for Ellsworth. Scoreless after the first half of action. About 45 seconds have gone off the clock here so far in the second half, and it's Ellsworth coming out of the gates quickly once again, winning a free kick. Standing over it for the Eagles is Silas Montigny. Montigny sizing it up. Looks like he will get a healthy run up at the ball. Montigny's right-footed attempt, a nice curling effort just over the crossbar and out of the outstretched hand of Xavier Jelks. Well, Jim, let's take a look at some of the keys to the game here for the second half of tonight's contest. And, I mean, from our standpoint, really more of the same to provide some good entertainment here over the final 38 minutes.
Yes, indeed. Very competitive match here tonight at Pottle Fields. I think if you're Ellsworth, obviously a very good defensive team. You want to provide as much help as you can for Miles Palmer. He's performed well, but obviously making, I believe, would be his first start of the season. Hunter Curtis injured in the pregame warm-ups, their regular goaltender. And for Hermon, I think just keep that energy going. They've been very aggressive, been very active, and they've got some pent-up energy built up after losing so many games in this season.
Yeah, and you mentioned just what Ellsworth is having to face here tonight, not only from their opposition in Hermon, but also from an injury standpoint. So they are down to a third-string goalie because not only did Hunter Curtis dislocate his shoulder in the pregame, Craig Burnett, the backup goalie, is currently quarantining. And then for the Hermon Hawks, also dealing with some injuries in defense. They are without Kyle Martin tonight, a junior defender, and without Brady Terriel, another junior defender. He broke his nose and cheekbone in the opening match of the season, but is expected to make a return for postseason play, which of course this year open to all competition. Keys to the game are brought to you by Tim Bush and the Bush Group, real estate agents with next home experience. The Bush Group is ready to help you with all your real estate needs, whether it's buying or selling or investing. The Bush Group is here to make all of your real estate goals happen. They also are proud supporters of all local high school sports and would like to wish all the student athletes a successful fall season. Ethan Davis that time taking a short-range kick off the chest, but Hermon is able to clear it. A throw for the Hawks on the far side of the pitch in front of the Ellsworth fans between the benches. Well, that first half, I think, certainly favors Hermon, just by virtue of being without a win so far this season, and also the fact that Ellsworth came in with 4 consecutive victories. But if you're the Eagles, you also can't be feeling too down heading into the second half. You were up to the task in the first half, just missing that finishing touch.
Yeah, I think if you're Hermon, you kind of feel like I felt at the half last night with the Patriots and Buccaneers going at it down in Foxborough. But the Pats were hanging in there and certainly hung in there to the end. The bitter end.
Hermon trying to take care of this one in the back as Jelks throws his body onto it. to stop the Ellsworth attack.
Certainly, Ellsworth had some opportunities, but I think Hermon had the better of the offensive chances there in that first half.
Yeah, not only from open play, but also the penalty that was saved away by Miles Palmer. As the ball goes out of play on the far side, let me tell you that high school sports are brought to you in part by Dean's Detailing here on the Ticket and Ticket TV. Dean's has been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1971. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, enjoy the ride. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. Ellsworth sends it down towards the corner. Giving chase as an Eagle, but he will not get there in time as Xavier Jokes will collect a new ball for the goal kick. Jokes has been one of the more active players for Hermon so far tonight, but that one was actually sent forward by one of the Hawks center backs. Ooh, a crunching tackle on the far side of the pitch. That was Euler on the receiving end of it. Hermon wins a free kick, and is that
Luke Perry?
Oh, is that Luke Perry? Number 8 for Ellsworth?
I believe so. Long ways away.
It's a single digit. It was either 8 or 9. Sent in deep by Ellsworth. Headed at the edge of the box. By Hermon, excuse me. Ellsworth trying to clear. The ball takes a deflection straight up in the air. Still loose. Now it's sent to the far side, and Oilers over there once again, scrapping for possession. Ball trickles out of play, last touched by an Eagle. And now they say last touched by a Hawk. So it'll be an Ellsworth throw, taken quickly. A battle for possession. Near the 45-yard marker on the far side, that was Euler, who did not want to give it up. And then coming in strongly for Hermon, Alex Rios. But the ball breaks here for Ellsworth.
Wide open net.
Yeah, Ellsworth just able to kind of shoulder off any attacking player for Hermon as that one broke free in front of net. Hawks couldn't take advantage. Leo Ferraghetti has a nice run of play here by Hermon, springing Carter Bricado towards the corner. Bricado loses out possession. Coming sliding into the picture for Ellsworth was Billy Garland, who is then spilled. As Garland and Ferraghetti came together. Ferraghetti staying on the pitch. Garland going over to make sure he is okay. And the clock is stopped as the trainer will make their way across the pitch to check in on Ferraghetti, who remains on the ground for Hermon.
Ferraghetti, some deep breaths. I think he's checking out that right shin area. He's pulling down his sock as the trainer was approaching. I want to mention, Mark, not only do we have a busy week on Ticket TV, we also have a busy week on The Ticket, Sports Radio 92.9, The Ticket, coming up tonight. We have some Monday Night Football, should be a good one, between the Raiders and the Chargers. Good AFC West matchup there. And then, of course, tomorrow night, the Boston Red Sox play host to the New York Yankees in the American League Wild Card game. We'll have the pregame show beginning at 7:08, and the first pitch thrown by Nathan Eovaldi at 8:08, and then on Wednesday night we'll have the National League Wild Card game between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. What the Dodgers win, 105 or 106 games?
106. Right. Still missed out on the division because San Fran had 107.
One game, poof, it could be all gone for the defending champions. Then Thursday night football, Rams and Seahawks. That should also be a great football game.
Well, Ferraghetti able to jog off the field under his own power. Standing over this free kick for Hermon is Alex Rios. Whistle blows. Rios sends it in. Bounces down between a couple Eagle defenders. A kick plays the ball backwards before Ellsworth can clear it out. Possession will stay with Hermon.
A slow start here in this second half. That was kind of the case in the first half. Teams kind of feeling things out here at Pottle Field, and the activity picked up.
Ellsworth looking to break quickly. Played down by Montigny. Montigny giving chase. Hermon still trying to get the ball out of that area, and now they finally will. Sprinting here across the pitch is Coombs. Coombs plays it forward for Shorey. Shorey lays it off for Bricado. Bricado, a lot of space in front of him. He will cross it in, but right into the waiting arms of Miles Palmer. Palmer knocks it downfield and out of bounds for a Hermon throw right in front of the visiting fans from Ellsworth.
Yeah, clearly at some point in his soccer career, whether it be youth soccer or middle school soccer or maybe even earlier in his high school career, Miles Palmer has played some goal.
Yeah, he does not look overmatched in there for the Eagles. That is certainly the case as Ellsworth, Hermon, plays a dangerous ball in just wide of the goal. Goes out of play. A goal kick coming up for Ellsworth, but the free kick that time almost found its way into the net.
And Miles Palmer is trying to time that leap on that high arcing kick. Looks like he mistimed a little bit, but no damage done.
Yeah, I think that's what's been one of the more impressive parts about his game so far. He's got a smaller stature for what you would be accustomed to seeing in a goalie, but he's done a very nice job cleaning things up for the Eagles and keeping Hermon off the score sheet.
Yeah, it took you and I about a minute or two. We were both staring over at the goaltender for Ellsworth.
Said, wait a second,
that is not Hunter
Curtis lose half of his body mass between last basketball season?
It's Ellsworth with some attack on their mind.
Now it's Hermon finding some space as Gavin Coombs. Coombs plays it down the far side and trying to get it back to Coombs. The pass is intercepted. Through ball there was not to be had. Ball played out off of one of the ball attendants on the far side for an Ellsworth throw.
Ellsworth coming in, averaging about 2.5 goals per match, and Hermon giving up 3.5 goals per match. So you thought Ellsworth might have the advantage when it came to the scoreboard, but not the case so far. And we are 50 minutes into this match.
Nicely keeping possession here, and a great run that time. Was that Montigny before being wiped from behind? No, it was not Montigny because he is congratulating his teammate. That was Cruz Coffin.
He was cruising.
Sets up a free kick here for the Eagles. Free kick to be taken right around 25 yards out or so. Maybe a little less as the goal is positioned right in front of the goal post here at Pottle Field. The ball set down right around the 15-yard line. It's played in wide of the net. Go behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, that one's a little bit to the right of the net. Still zeros for both sides up there on the board.
Ellsworth gets the ball back here, and a chance! A rocket off of the right foot of an Eagle attacker trying to catch Xavier Jelks out of position.
I think that was Montigny. Jelks fielding the one hopper. Had some zip behind it.
Ellsworth with some sustained pressure now in their attacking end. Cruz Coffin laying it off here for a teammate. That kick is good as well through the uprights here, out of play for a goal kick. We've seen about 3 or 4 made field goals in tonight's contest. Unfortunately, in this sport, that amounts to 0 points. High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you in part by Northeast Driving School. They have been the leader in driver training since 1969. Register for fall courses today at northeastdrivingschool.com.
Also, want to mention on our ticket schedule, this is exciting. Coming up on the 16th, the Boston Bruins play their opener, hosting the Dallas Stars. We'll have that one for you again on the Saturday, the 16th at 6:30 p.m. And then on the 20th, the Boston Celtics open their regular season schedule at New York, taking on Kemba Walker and the New York Knicks.
Kemba beating out Derrick Rose for the starting point guard position for the Knicks, although I don't think it was really that much of a competition to begin with.
Yeah, Rose at this stage probably better coming off the bench after what he's been through in his career.
Knicks with a couple of former Celtics, Evan Fournier, of course, also
That's right.
ending up there this offseason. That's the Eagles sprinting down the far side of the pitch with possession. And that one looks like it took a deflection out of play off of an Ellsworth player over there, so it'll be a Hermon throw. And we have a substitution for Hermon. Coming onto the pitch is Joshua Sullivan, junior defender, one of the swing players from the JV team as well. Jokes once again up to the task, ripping the ball away. Nearly.
Just getting ready to punt that ball, and Ellsworth player cruising by almost took a cleat to the side.
High school sports on Ticket TV is presented by Hermon Motor Company. From pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to their service department, Hermon Motor Company does it all. And Hermon Motor Company now features Currahee trailers. Hermon Motor Company has something for everyone. 2512, that's 2512 US Route 2 in Hermon. Knocked out of play. Possession will remain with Ellsworth. Getting a little tough on those far corners to figure out some of the numbering at this stage in the night as darkness is set in around Pottle Field.
Yeah, good tight pressure over there from Jacob Garrich, the freshman for the Hermon Hawks.
Ellsworth will try to get a throw into the box here, send it in as far as they can. And skips over a couple of players before finding its way to Koa Barrett. First time we've called his name. Hermon is able to clear it down pitch. Ryan Austin clearing for the Hawks in defense. And able to keep from going out of play. The Hawks trying to spring a counter. Down the far side, dribbling past a couple Eagle defenders, but this one is being called back. I believe the call was offsides. We had an Eagle player tying their shoe on the far side of the pitch. Gives me a moment to tell you that coming up this winter season on the ticket in just a little over a month's time is University of Maine basketball. The men and the women coming to Maine Sports Leader 92.9 the ticket.
Yeah, no
Oh, we got a ball that was loose in the box there. That was Barrett getting a foot on it. Jelks grabbed possession and tried to start a break for Hermon, but Eagles were up to the task in defense.
I think Cole Barrett would like to have another shot at that one. Didn't quite get as much foot on that one as he would have liked. It's a good battle in front.
And players going to the ground all over the field right now, slipping and sliding. You can see the ball glistening under the lights with moisture from the field. Ryan Shorey giving chase for Hermon down into the corner. Ellsworth will play it out. They will save from being a corner. Hermon will have to settle for a throw.
Yeah, with a tight game like this, Mark, you have to think that this slick field could play a role late in this one and create a scoring opportunity for one of these two programs.
Alex Rios finding Gavin Coombs in the midfield. Coombs giving it back to Sullivan, who tries to play it forward. Sullivan hops back on the ball and then gets taken out. No call as Sullivan and Garland came together. Sullivan is still down on the pitch as play goes to the other end. Jelks will back up and allow the ball to come into the box before he grabs it.
Sullivan to his feet. It's a round of applause from the Hamden faithful after taking that hit. Maybe just had the wind knocked out of him briefly.
Hermon giving chase down the far side, trying to get a cross in before the ball goes out of play. Couldn't get a lot behind it. Now it's Ellsworth clearing. Ellsworth on the attack. They don't have numbers, but they're still going for it. Hermon's up to the challenge. So it's the Eagles maintaining possession. Their own side of midfield here at Pottle Field. Rios knocks it forward, finding Sneyer. He's dispossessed by an Eagle defender who will continue his run up the field.
Well, about 3/4 of the way through this match here tonight at Hermon High School. Oftentimes in a close game at this point, we're talking about who gets that next goal and tries to gain control of the game. In some cases getting a little breathing room, in other cases getting back into the game. In this case, whoever gets the next goal is going to be the first goal of the night. Obviously would be huge. Ellsworth already has one tie on the season. What is it, 2 5-minute overtimes?
Yes, and that was in their first match of the season, the 1-1 draw versus Foxcroft Academy. Sending it in and wide of the net is Ellsworth for a Hermon goal kick. High school sports on Ticket TV, presented by Quirk Auto Group. Visit a Quirk Auto Group dealership in Bangor, Belfast, Augusta, or Portland, and at quirkautogroup.com. That's Michael Sneyer trying to weave his way around a couple of Ellsworth defenders, but in the end he was the last to touch it before it went out of play. Here's Frank sending it back for Ellsworth. Almost spilled that time was Montigny, but he was able to keep his feet and played across the pitch. I believe that was Luke Perry on the far side. Little pop fly that Jelks camps underneath. Xavier Jelks, the Hawks keeper. Sends it down pitch, first played by Frank. It's Ellsworth trying to keep up the pressure. Hermon trying to regain possession and clear it out of their defensive zone inside the final 20 minutes of this contest. Here's Frank. Frank plays it off to Barrett. Barrett, who earlier in the second half had a pretty good chance in front of net for Ellsworth, but couldn't convert. And here's an attempt from range that is well wide. While we have a moment, I will tell you that high school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you in part by Greenway Equipment Sales. Nothing runs like a deer in Bangor and Ellsworth, and at greenwayequipment.com. Montigny tries a little back heel attempt to no avail. Hermon able to knock it forward, and here comes Gavin Coombs looking to make something happen. Coombs taking it to the far side. He tried to cut it back in. That was Frank getting a foot to it to stop his run long enough before the ball is knocked out of play. This is going to result in a Hermon corner. For the Hawks, it is their fourth of the game. They have the advantage in corners, 4-2 over Ellsworth. Swung in here, played down in the box. Ball was loose, players were jumping around it, but no one could get a touch on it, and it will harmlessly roll out for an Ellsworth goal kick. We are brought to you in part here on Ticket TV by First National Bank. Dream first, because you can. Going to the ground but not winning out possession was Ryan Austin for the Hawks. Have resulted in a decent chance, but Ellsworth once again just could not tuck it away, having trouble keeping the ball down on some of their attempts here in the second half. Another one going wide of the crossbar. We are inside the final quarter hour here of regulation in tonight's game. Scoreless between the Hawks and the Eagles. Cruz Coffin trying to find a way through the Hermon defense. He could not. Played out wide, and once again, bodies colliding. There is a Hermon player in some agony over there as that ball goes off the crossbar of the goalpost, comes back into play, but obviously out of play once it nicks the crossbar. And now it looks like Hermon will be forced to make a substitution with a player coming off hobbled. Actually, they're going to make a couple changes anyways. They were getting ready for a double switch. Might as well make it 3 new players onto the pitch.
Well, good game here tonight. Should be a good one here tomorrow at Pottle Field as well, as the Hermon girls soccer team will host Ellsworth. Hermon girls soccer, just looking at their record here, they've outscored their opponent 38-3.
They are pretty impressive. We were here, what was it, mid last week for a contest against Caribou, or a couple of weeks ago maybe at this point, but Sydney Gallup 5 goals in that game. Hermon with a 7-0 win. I think at that time they were outscoring the competition 20-0, so they've kept up the pace.
Those two teams have met before. It was a 5-1 Hermon win. That's the only loss on the season for Ellsworth. They are 7-1.
2 more changes, 1 apiece here as Ellsworth gets ready for a corner, their third. Jokes once again able to grab it, and he will roll it ahead to Ryan Shorey. Shorey waiting for some help, and now he plays it forward here, and a chance in on net. A right-footed attempt from Michael Sneyer goes wide. Well, just 3 players touching the ball on that counter for Hermon. The goalie Jokes It was Ryan Shorey, and then playing it forward to Michael Snyder, nearly to perfection. The ball fizzed wide. Hermon was able to keep it in play for a brief moment.
Yeah, just a beautiful looking play there for the Hawks. Wide left. Tension building here at Pottle Field. Hermon looking for their first win, playing just their 5th game. Ellsworth trying to make it 5 straight W's.
Ellsworth brings the ball back in play. It's knocked ahead. Goes off the head of Ethan Davis. And then Xavier Jokes once again there to clean it up. Hear the encouragement from some of the fans here at Pottle Field. Won away nicely. Gavin Coombs in on that challenge, and coming away with the ball was Alex Rios, but Ellsworth is able to clean up and regain possession in the midfield. Rios going through a couple of Eagle defenders, but it's Ellsworth hanging on to the ball. Eagles play it back, now knocked forward into the box. Jelks grabs it off a skip.
Yeah, not a lot of traffic in front there. Jelks had a nice view of that line drive one hopper.
Snyder with the ball at his feet, making his way across the field. Plays it forward, but Ellsworth was right there. A lot of space opening up in the midfield now. Shorey leaves it for Leo Ferraghetti. Ferraghetti down the far side. It's Ellsworth winning possession and knocking it off of Ferraghetti for a goal kick. More substitutions here. One player coming back onto the pitch for Hermon. And that will be Joshua Sullivan, who might have been that player who went off hobbled a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, he took a hit probably 5-6 minutes ago in this ball game.
Shorey trying to find his way around a couple of defenders. Shorey plays it back. No one home for Hermon as Ellsworth is able to clear, but only as far as Alex Rios. Now it's the Eagles coming away on the attack. Attempted through ball is picked out by Hermon. There's Sullivan seeing his first action back in the game. He knocks it forward, giving chase. The ball stays in play. No, it does not.
Nope.
Out for a Ellsworth throw, last touched by Sullivan. Couple changes coming in for the Eagles right now. Leaving the pitch is Luke Perry.
Eamon McDonald also checking out.
A strong header that time by Gavin Coombs, thumping the ball out of play for another Ellsworth throw. Played a little shorter this time, comes into Frank. Frank back and forth we go, and now it's Hermon jumping onto the attack. Here comes Ferraghetti. Ferraghetti squares, plays it inside, and slipping at an inopportune time is Michael Snyder, leaving the ball behind him. Hermon has had a couple dangerous looking chances in this second half, but both times players going to ground in the end, and now a free kick in favor of Hermon, won by Ethan Davis, senior defenseman, going to ground there, winning the free kick for the Hawks.
Yeah, Hermon on that last effort just couldn't quite get control of it. Good effort by Frank to get in with the challenge and keep it a scoreless game.
Knocked ahead once again is Jelks out of the area to scoop it up calmly. He'll hang on to it here for a few seconds as we tick inside of 8 minutes remaining. Joke sends
Jokes
it down.
will use the conventional punt. Oh, we have another.
Sullivan knocked on nicely with his head. The ball's crossed in here, and Palmer just has to poke it over, not taking any chances. Miles Palmer, once again, the reserve goalie, making the start tonight for Ellsworth.
Emergency goalie.
Yeah, the emergency goalie, I should say.
Ooh, nice touch.
Just knocking it over. Both teams making 2 substitutions. It'll be a 5th corner of the game for Hermon. Can they find a goal? Swung in short, finds its way through. Shorey to give chase. Knocked out of play. It'll stay with Hermon. Shorey sends it back into the box. Knocked for dangerously. Palmer to grab it. He touched that, so knew wisely. Couldn't pick it up again, and then had to just clear it out to safety for the time being.
We're trying to navigate a little seam there to get to that ball. Had to go off his fingertips initially, but sigh of relief for the Eagle fans.
Ryan Austin sends that one into the sky. Played down here and knocked off to the side of the stands by Ethan Davis. An Ellsworth throw. Billy Garland looks like the man to bring it back into play for the Eagles. Taking it to the corner. Cal Lastly. Lastly plays it back here for Kai Barrett. Lastly brings it in. No, a loose ball in goal. And a penalty has been awarded.
Yeah, Xavier Jelks came well outside of the net.
Over the top of a couple of Eagle attackers. And
here's a look. Ooh,
yeah.
all down an Eagle player.
By the head, got those amber helper mitts around him, dragged him to the ground, and a very costly time here. 5:38, frozen on the clock. Ellsworth with a chance to take the lead. The run up. The shot, and the Eagles score, converting the penalty kick to give Ellsworth the lead with just over 5.5 minutes remaining in the contest. Here it is once again. See the kick, sent Jelks to his left, slotted it in, and that was Cal Lastly.
Was it? I thought it might have been Luke Perry.
Was it Luke Perry? Was it number 8? I was
8?
trying to figure out if that was 8 or 9. Can we see that one more time to figure out who the goal scorer was on that PK for the Eagles?
Slow. Yeah. Yeah, there, it looks like a 9, but I think when you see him turn.
All right, turn for us. Yeah, that was definitely Perry. So
Perry.
Perry with the go-ahead goal, 5:38 remaining in the contest. Luke Perry, the junior for the Eagles. And now Sean Good trying
was a fan of Luke Perry.
You know, I was trying to figure. I was like, I know there's a Luke Perry out there somewhere. I'm not a country music fan, so I wasn't putting it together. Now that you say that, maybe that was the case. But I think Sean Good trying to get an explanation there as to what exactly transpired to lead to the Ellsworth penalty. Refs talking a few things over as the players are waiting to get action back underway.
Now, I don't know where you're going with country music. I was talking about the actor Luke Perry.
Who am I thinking of?
Mom, Luke Bryan, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's where I was going.
Talking Luke Perry. Rick Sinclair remembers Luke Perry. Big fan back in the day. Beverly Hills 90210 was Luke Perry's fame.
Bit of a hold up here.
Yeah, maybe. We'll check it out in the post-game show. But that play that preceded the penalty kick, the penalty on Xavier Jelks, unfortunate for the Hawks. Certainly, Eagles taking advantage of the PK.
Play back underway. It's Ellsworth with the ball.
Well, Hermon going to have to take some chances here. 5 minutes left. Down by 1.
And you can see kind of the urgency once they get the ball at their feet. The Hawks trying to send it forward. Making a nice run down the near side was Carter Mercado, but Hermon couldn't find him. Sent in deep that time. Jelks delayed for a second, ended up going to ground. Play on, says referee Jay Baines, as Jelks sends it deep. Hermon scrambling just to hold on to possession here. They play it forward. A good opportunity is Palmer coming out of net. He goes to ground to scoop up the loose ball and will boot it away to safety for the Eagles.
Well, the emergency keeper working on his shutout right now.
Less than 4 minutes away from a clean sheet is Palmer. Ellsworth in search of their 5th straight victory. Hermon, who has played so well tonight, yet to find their way into the winner's column so far this year. They will win a free kick.
And you go back to the first half for Hermon. They had 3 golden opportunities, including a penalty kick of their own. Just could not get one in net.
Free kick taken a bit too quickly there. The clock frozen at 3:13. Refs to talk it over. Clock to be reset here to 3:23. Lengthy discussion going on here between the refs as Baines comes back onto the pitch. And now Hermon will send it down into the attacking zone. That ball is knocked out behind the net. And it will be a Hermon corner, and the Eagles sending everyone up, including, well, Jelks wanted to go up for it, now is being told, hang on just a second. It's brought in here by Hermon. First attempt, nothing there, and then Jacob Garridge kind of skews the ball off the side of his foot out of play. Goal kick for the Eagles. Strong header by Noah Dupuis in the midfield.
Strong header. It also made my head hurt.
Especially on a night like this, to get behind it with that much force, it
just didn't sound good.
No, it kind of sounded like if we were to headbutt this wall right in front of us. Ellsworth here trying to take it down to the far corner, bleed off some seconds. No, they cross it in. They want more. Jelks goes up to grab it. snaring the ball out of the air. Play on, says the ref. Jokes springs up to send it down the pitch. Leo Farraghetti winning possession here for the Hawks. He knocks it forward. Mercado can't quite get there in the end.
Yeah, Owen Frank has been, we got a little deflection in front there. Owen Frank has been outstanding.
Vacated space in the box. It's a loose ball. Once again, gaping net, but the Eagles are able to clear it away. Played back in. Frantic right now at the attacking end for Hermon as they try to find an equalizer. 60 seconds remaining in the contest. Sending it in. Palmer, a loose touch, but he corrals it on the second attempt.
He's had a couple of bobbles here lately, but
that ball might be getting a little more slick too as the night goes on, a little tougher to catch out of the air.
Well, Hermon from the outset has had the energy. They've had some great opportunities. Just unable to dent that scoring column.
The Eagles bleeding away precious seconds inside of 30 seconds remaining in the contest. They will knock it out of play. Jokes grabs a ball. 15 seconds as Hermon tries to mount one final attack. Sent deep, giving chase. Sneyer tries to square it for Shorey. It's knocked away, and the Eagles will win their 5th straight game, 1-0. The final score, the lone goal, a penalty kick from Luke Perry with 5:38 remaining in the contest to give the Eagles the victory.
Well, an outstanding boys soccer game here tonight on the pitch at Pottle Field. Came down to a penalty kick late. Ellsworth coming through. As you mentioned, their winning streak continues. And for the Hermon Hawks, despite the fact they lost here tonight, and despite the fact they are now 0-5 on the season, plenty of good coming out of this one for Coach Sean Good to talk about. His team fought hard. They played very hard throughout, had a number of created scoring opportunities due to that hustle, but just could not punch one into the goal. And they'll fall here tonight 1-0. But a very entertaining, low-scoring boys soccer game here tonight.
Yeah, certainly a step in the right direction for Hermon, and for the Eagles, a 6th win in 10 tries this season. High school sports on Ticket TV is presented by Hermon Motor Company. From pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to their service department, Hermon Motor Company does it all. And Hermon Motor Company now features Currahee trailers. Hermon Motor Company is something for everyone. 2512 US Route 2 in Hermon. We'll take a break right now and come back for the post-game show here on Ticket TV. Once again, Hermon falling to Ellsworth 1-0 at Pottle Field. The post-game show coming up next on 929theticket.com. Welcome back to Pottle Field. We have gone final. The Ellsworth Eagles victorious over the Hermon Hawks by a score of 1-0. Ellsworth advancing to 6-3-1 on the season. Hermon falling to 0-5-0. High school sports on Ticket TV is presented in part by Dean's Detailing. They have been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1979. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, enjoy the ride. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. Mark Paulette.
Only because I've read that read a few times, so I think it's 1971.
What did I say?
79.
I was looking at 69 below it. That's what screwed me off for renew/review. Got all jumbled there. All right, Mark Paulette, Jim Churchill here in the post-game show with you. Let's take a look at some of the action of from tonight's contest, beginning with chances in the second half. Got off to a fast start. It was scoreless at the break, scoreless for much of this game. Ellsworth right here off the free kick. A nice curling effort that sails just over the crossbar for the Eagles. And then it's Hermon on the break coming up in this next highlight. This was maybe the best executed counter of the night. As the ball sent in deep there, and then Michael Sneyer on the receiving end of it, just sending it wide. Hermon was able to keep it in play, but Ellsworth eventually won away possession. Once again, it's the Hawks on attack. Snyder again, you see number 9 for Hermon, trying to cross it in, and Palmer was up to the task. Miles Palmer, the emergency goalkeeper for Ellsworth, knocking it over the crossbar and out of play. And here was the deciding goal, the only goal. Well, first, what led to that, as you see Jelks coming out to try to play the ball in the air and just kind of hauled down the Ellsworth attacker.
He would argue he was going for the ball and inadvertently got somebody's head.
Got someone's head instead. Got a little confused by the spherical objects that he was grabbing for, and ended up hauling down the Eagle attacker. As a nice clearance there by Hermon, but it was all for naught because a penalty was given.
And it's tough to sneak that in when you're wearing a fluorescent orange shirt and fluorescent lime green gloves.
Yeah, you can't get away with much there. So the ensuing action would be Luke Perry with the ball at the spot. Perry sends Jelks one way, slots it home the other. The only goal of the game, coming with 5 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the contest. Hermon certainly had their chances, though, in the first half. The Hawks, who also had a penalty, but could not convert as Snyder's attempt was saved. Here's some of the early chances from Hermon. Actually, that is late in the contest with about 4 minutes remaining. Miles Palmer coming out of goal. Here's another attempt by Hermon as they were trying to add the pressure, ramp it up at the end of the game, but just couldn't find that finishing touch. See the cross in here by Ellsworth. Jelks, who unfortunately is going to get tagged with that, or with conceding the penalty that allowed Ellsworth to come out with the victory. Played a very nice game in net for Hermon.
Yeah, this was a dangerous spot here for Palmer and the Eagles, but they're able to clear it out of play.
Yeah, you saw the clock in that last highlight, about 1:17 remaining in the contest. This inside the final minute. Another chance here for Hermon, but Palmer almost coughed it up. It squeaked through his hands, but he was able to grab the second attempt. And it was Ellsworth able to salt away the 1-0 victory tonight at Pottle Field. High school sports presented in part by Northeast Driving School. They have been the leader in driver training since 1969. Register for fall courses today at northeastdrivingschool.com. Let's take one final break here in our post-game show. We will come back. We'll present a player of the match and take a look at what lies ahead on Ticket TV coming up this week. Welcome back to Pottle Field here in post-game coverage of tonight's contest. The Ellsworth Eagles victorious over the Hermon Hawks by a score of 1-0. Ellsworth earns their 5th consecutive victory. Remaining on the schedule for them is a trip to Foxcroft Academy on October 9th, a match against John Bapps on October 13th in Ellsworth, and then a trip to MDI to close out the season on October 18th. And for the Hermon Hawks left on their schedule, instead of reading it off, that might take too much time, so I will just say that including tonight's contest, they had 10 games in 15 days. So moving forward, 9 games in 14 days as they try to round out their full schedule after having 4 games canceled, so far this year. The Hawks falling to 0-5-0, but showing themselves very nicely in this contest tonight against an Ellsworth team that entered action 5th in the Class B North standings. All right, it's time to hand out a player of the game in tonight's match, and we got to go with the emergency goalkeeper for the Ellsworth Eagles, Miles Palmer, stepping into action and saving the day for the Eagles. Starting goalkeeper Hunter Curtis separated his shoulder in pregame warm-ups. The backup keeper, Craig Burnett, currently quarantining. So in steps Miles Palmer, originally part of the starting 11 as an outfield player. He goes back into net. All he does is get himself a clean sheet.
Yeah, that's called rising to the occasion. Again, planned on playing here tonight. Did not expect, as he was riding on the bus from Ellsworth to be in net, but that's how it turned out, and it turned out well for both Palmer and the Eagles as they shut out Hermon.
Yeah, you see some of the chances that Hermon had. Palmer getting several touches to make sure, several saves, I should say, to make sure that Hermon remained scoreless, like this one here off of the right foot.
Colby Euler there with the attempt.
Palmer again, this is off that final break. He was able to come out, supply enough pressure to influence the shot from Michael Sneyer. So Miles Palmer, the sophomore, not normally goalkeeper, pitches the shutout
That's
tonight.
no position.
And he is our player of the game.
It's going to chew up some of your program. Not normally a goalkeeper. But anyway, 1-0, 1-0, the victory for the Eagles. So they improved to 6-3-1. And Hermon, plenty to build off from this game, played very well. Great effort, just could not break through against Palmer and the Eagles. They had their opportunities, but Coach Sean Good can feel good about his troops as they head into the home stretch. And they got a lot of games coming up here over the next couple of weeks. And we've got a lot of games coming up this week here on the Ticket as we take a look at our upcoming broadcast schedule here on Ticket TV. And tomorrow night, we're going to be at Doyle Field in Brewer. That is senior night for the Brewer girls soccer team. They'll be hosting Mount Blue Spirit Week at Brewer High School. And then on Wednesday, we will head up to Victory Field in Old Town as Foxcroft Academy, the Ponies, travel to take on the Coyotes in a girls matchup. Also a 6 p.m. kickoff. Thursday, back on the pitch at Doyle Field. Senior night for the Brewer boys soccer program. They'll be hosting the Riverhawks of Skowhegan. And then it's Riverhawks and Witches again on Friday night, except this one at Doyle Field will be a football game. That one will kick off at 7 p.m. And then looking forward on Saturday to getting a good look, an up-close and personal look at the new Cameron Stadium as the Foxcroft Ponies football team travels to Bangor to take on John Bapps. That'll be a 6 p.m. kickoff in Bangor. And a quick reminder, on Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket, Monday Night Football tonight, Raiders and Chargers at 7:30 with the pregame show. And, of course, tomorrow night, Yankees and Red Sox from Fenway Park, the American League wild card game. Red Sox win, and they advance to the American League Division Series against the Tampa Bay Rays. They lose, and they are heading south and to golf courses.
How are you feeling about that one going in? Red Sox finishing the year 31-33 since being atop the American League standings, and it's so weird that the Sox and Yankees playing a wild card game tomorrow night, and it's kind of like everyone having to remind themselves, oh yeah, the Red Sox and Yankees are playing in a wild card game tomorrow night.
Brady and the Patriots last night. Who's pitching for the Yankees?
Garrett Cole.
Oh, all right. I feel okay. Not great, but I feel okay. They've gotten Cole before, so we'll see what happens tomorrow night at the Fens.
All right, well, for Jim Churchill, I'm Mark Paulette saying so long tonight from Pottle Field. Once again, the final score, Ellsworth 1, Hermon 0. Stay tuned for more action coming up every night this week on Ticket TV here at 929theticket.com.